Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Bell. This is my rough draft for week 10 for my assignment. My assignment, as far as what my goal is to accomplish, putting together a kind of system, kind of a diagram as far as a process, a step by step process that not only my supervisor but other members of leadership will also be able to look at and contribute to, as far as like what they went through to accomplish, becoming what they became. If they're a supporting manager, or if they're a team leader, or if they're a trainer, or if they're even, as far as like the head of the company. I just want to, as far as not only get information from just my peers, the ones that are closer to me, but even ones that are, known for transferring out, just in case, because I do hear some things about Verizon as far as working in the company and meeting more tenured reps, as far as like some do close down. So I do want to make sure that, sorry, it's like if I move, that they still have the same kind of compassion for employees as this one down here in Tampa does. So I definitely do like to ask a lot of questions. So my goal is to one day become a trainer in the company, and how I would do that is not just by my scores and trying to keep my scores up. For example, I try my best to keep my surveys from my customers, at 100% or average 90 or above. Not only just for my team lead's sake, but for my own sake. The other scores that I also go at is my disconnects. I try to make sure that my disconnects are always on, because those are going to be two issues that I argue in the future of why I would be able to have enough knowledge to be a good trainer, or, as far as move on to loyalty and then later become, as far as like another rep that handles harder calls, like a technician or something like that. So I want to make sure that I have facts to lean on. Last thing, how I would do it is, I know they're going to ask 5-star questions, because they didn't really ask 5-star questions in the interview, but this is something I've been hearing from members of management, as far as me asking my supporting coaches questions, as far as like what they had to do to become a support coach, and what they did before they became a support coach to get notice from their team lead or get notice from their SMs, and that little advice that they've given me, I take it and I use it to my own disposal, because I might not need it all. So not only using my support coaches who help me become a good employee, I will also be using my stats. Now, the last thing that I would be using in a 5-star interview is, as far as the answers I did, as far as put together some like an answer sheet, some 5-star questions. For example, what I think they would ask is something like, tell me about a time you were given feedback from a supervisor, or tell me about a time you disagreed with a coworker. I feel like my experience has given me many opportunities to be in a management position, and not have to, as far as be too boisterous about a subject, or have to argue with a coworker about a subject. I feel like I was able to to a mutual understanding with, if it's a person that's higher up than me, or a person that's, as far as the same level as me. I've always been able to resonate a common ground with that individual, and then work on that common ground and come up, out of our hole from there. So one of the examples that I was going to say was when I was when I was a front end manager at Fresh Market. I had a higher up who felt like it was his place to try to take over my front end. And I mean, that's what you do, as far as you give your goals to the front end manager, and then that front end manager is to distribute the goals out to his assistant managers and people underneath those assistant managers. But what was happening was that he was going past myself and my assistant managers and just basically writing individuals up without speaking to me. And I felt like there was a place and a time, as far as, because like when they would come to me to, as far as like defend themselves, I wouldn't even know what was going on. And I felt like that was an issue, because then it made us look like we didn't have good communication. So I just pulled the person to the side, one day, and just had a common ground conversation, because he was a great guy. He always gave me, he was, like I said, he was higher up than me, so he always gave me good advice as far as me being kind of new in that position. So when I asked him, I knew it wasn't something that he was doing on purpose or trying to overstep his boundaries, trying to, as far as like make me look bad. But I just basically put him to the side and just talked to him and asked him, hey, I wish you could communicate with me so that when people do ask me questions or want to know what's going on, I'm on the same page as you are. I'm not against you. I'm just on the same team. And if I'm on the same team and don't know what's going on, that's where communication breaks that bridging point. So that's one of the answers I'd have for one of those questions. But I know they're going to have many different start questions. But that's the route I'm going with mine. I hope you like the video. I'm going to go ahead and get on there and communicate with or comment on a few of you other students' comments. Again, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching the video.